Ladies and gentlemen, I am the ultimate BBL hater, and I am not even ashamed of it. It's kind of who I am now. BBLs are the most fatal operation in all of plastic surgery, unaliving 1 in 3,000 people that dare to undergo this procedure. Do you dare risk your life for a fat butt? Well, as ridiculous as this sounds, many women are risking their lives and dying to have their dream derriere, even though it's painful, life-threatening, and can also make you stink. Yep, you heard me. BBLs actually stink. And I also got a comment on my last video saying that it looks like a baby with a full diaper, and ooh, that's a burn. Since a lot of you guys are confused and think that I'm talking about the British Basketball League, let me clarify and say that BBL actually stands for Brazilian Butt Lift. This procedure involves removing fat from the more unsavory parts of the body, such as the butt, stomach, thighs, legs, arms, anywhere that you got a little extra, purifying the fat, and then re-injecting it into the subcutaneous layer, which is right above the muscle, to kind of create this bubble butt, unnatural, big, shapely booty. All the rappers love it, and it's perfect for the long back, flat butt girlies. You don't have to lift a pound, do any cardio, eat right. You simply spend half your life savings and wake up looking like a Barbie or an ant from A Bug's Life. So now this procedure sounds pretty simple, so I'm sure you're asking yourself, Lael, what could possibly be making this procedure so dangerous?
What is the most dangerous plastic surgery procedure? This is a common question I'm asked, and the answer would be a BBL. That stands for Brazilian butt lift. So that is when people take fat, typically from the abdomen, the flanks, sometimes the back and the thighs, and re-inject it into the buttock. So people do this because they want a more contoured silhouette.
It's safe to say that whatever you achieve with a BBL, the shape is so abnormal and unnatural that I don't think any person could possibly build that in the gym. You can definitely get a bubble butt of some sort and work out and create a more shape to your body, but you're not gonna get rid of your hip dips. You're not gonna become some like Kim Kardashian body type overnight. It's just never going to happen. These results are created with surgery and surgery alone.
The reason the mortality rate is so high is threefold. Number one, there are a ton of large veins in the buttock. So when you're injecting fat, it's really easy for the fat to enter these veins.
So you're putting fat in a place that's already so freaky deaky. Like just in general, messing around with that entire area of your body, it's dangerous. So just imagine, because there's so many arteries, what are the chances you're gonna wake up? Why does it seem so slim?
Then go to the heart, brain, lungs, and they can cause immediate death if fat is injected directly into those vessels.
Immediate death. Immediately you're dead. Immediately unalived. What does that even mean?
The second reason being, when the death rate was really high, which was around 1 in 6,000 procedures, a lot of non-board certified plastic surgeons were performing these procedures.
So this is even worse. There's a lot of people who are board certified plastic surgeons who still unalive their patients because it's such a sensitive area. But when you go off to Turkey, you go off to Mexico, you do the full mommy makeover 360 lipo BBL, like the chances of actually something going terribly wrong are a lot higher. You need to go to somebody that you trust. And even then, I do not trust the BBL. Bro, I thought Evel Knievel was the real stuntman and daredevil out here, when in reality, it's the girlies with the guts to go and get a BBL. You could never wake up. I got a comment on my last video that was really interesting. I'm a mortician. I've prepared the body of a young lady in her 20s while having the BBL procedure. The doctor cut her iliac artery, which was fatal. The iliac arteries are blood vessels that provide blood to the legs, pelvis, reproductive organs, and other organs in the pelvic area. One snip, one little incision, and she was gone. It also takes up to 6 months to entirely heal, and you also can't sit for longer than 10 minutes, and that includes bathroom breaks. I really hope you don't have an issue with constipation, along with a very long list of other horrible complications, but I promise we will get to that. Now, if you guys are ready, let's buckle up, because we're going on a journey. I think it's safe to say that no matter what procedure you undergo, maybe you're getting a hip replacement, maybe you're getting your boobies done, regardless, there is always a possibility of having some sort of discomfort in your healing process, especially when they're cutting you straight open. But that discomfort does not even come close to what a BBL victim experiences. And yes, I said victim. These women are victims. The ladies that have survived to tell the tale of the horrible BBL pain say that it is like an 11 out of 10 on the pain scale. They say it's worse than giving birth. And at least when you give birth, you're left with a baby. But instead, you're just left with more fat in the spots where you didn't have fat before and you never actually lost the fat. What? To the point where these people actually regret getting this procedure in the first place. But beauty is pain, am I right? Woman gets a BBL surgery and instantly regrets it afterwards, gives advice to other women saying don't get it and it's not worth it.
No, sis, this shit hurts. I'm never fucking coming back. Do you understand me? I'm never coming back. This shit fucking hurts so bad.
She has tear marks down her face. She has wetness going down the sides of her eyes. Like, this woman is crying.
This shit hurts so bad. I've been here since 7:30 this morning. I'm just leaving. I woke up freaking the fuck out. This shit hurts so bad.
A lot of people say that the pain is subjective. So some people might experience a lot of pain, other people might have better pain tolerances. I mean, it's just like women giving birth. Some women give birth and they don't even sweat. But the absolute fear that you could wake up in a painful rage after going and trying to get your dream body is crazy, when you could have just done some squats.
I'm about to just pee on myself.
She really just said that she's gonna go and herself. She'd rather that than experience this level of pain.
And I don't care. Yes, I did. But he's still gotta take me home. That's a 20-minute drive.
A lot of women after these BBLs actually go home in the trunk. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. They full on have to lay out all the seats, or they have to pull the seats back as if the dogs were hopping in the back, and then they lay out a blanket so they can lay in the back. I mean, that's risky in and of itself. What if you get in an accident? It's worse than having babies and a C-section. Somebody, that's what you get. You should have been grateful for the body the Lord has given you. We all reap what we sow. Somebody said getting a BBL before fixing your teeth is wild. We all have our priorities.
I just figured out a way to describe the pain of a BBL, okay? Now when you hit yourself and then the next day you have like a bruise and then someone touches it or you touch it and it hurts, that's how it feels all over your body.
So like immense soreness. I'm still trying to understand what this actually feels like, what kind of immense pain.
And you know when you're cooking something or you're doing your hair and then you burn yourself really hot, that same feeling all over your body? The butts.
I mean, beauty is pain, am I right? We would do anything for a big butt, but I will not do that. Serious question, how did you come back home after the BBL if you can't sit for 4 months after the surgery? Women will literally just lay on their stomachs and somebody will feed them soup. Like, eat this. If I was unable to get around and sit and like do things that I want to do, I would want to crawl out of my skin. It's just like those stories of women that get a breast augmentation and when they wake up, they feel so upset that they did that to themselves. It's almost like you have a panic attack for being in your own body. That would be me.
When I woke up from the BBL, I was screaming like, oh my God, what the fuck did I do? Because it hurted so bad. It was the worst pain I ever had in my life, no lie.
Oh, are you serious?
Worst pain I ever experienced.
Like,
she's not even laughing. Like, this woman is telling you about it and she's not going, ah, it was crazy. She's flashing back to those moments. Like, she cannot get that feeling out of her body.
Like, it was so listen, once you wake up, you have to go get your own prescription. They prescribe you Percocet or hydrocodone.
So this is the biggest struggle that so many people recall every single time they talk about a BBL, is the fact that they have to go and get a prescription. And typically the prescription isn't ready for like an hour. So you're in so much pain. You need the meds. They don't give them to you right after surgery. You have to go and get them, find them yourself, source them. Then you have to sit there for over an hour and wait while you are in excruciating pain. I'm sure that is the longest hour some people have ever experienced.
You have to go and get your own prescription. You got to wait 30 minutes to an hour for them to give you the prescription. So you're sitting there hurting for that long and this pain is unbearable.
Oh. Honestly, at 27, I have more than enough back, knee, and shoulder pain to go around. I don't need to induce that pain in myself. And little did I know that before 30, my body would actually be falling apart, but I couldn't choose ever to put my body through more pain than it already experiences the amount of times that I stub my toe on this coffee table. Another point to mention is when you put your heart and soul into the hands of some sort of plastic surgeon, you have no idea what that man is going to do to you. You go to sleep, you say that you want this slim, thicky, chicky BBL Kim Kardashian booty, and you end up waking up with a mommy Madonna butt, and you spend a lot of money to have those results. This gorgeous Instagram girly was asked, where did you get your BBL? And she was actually so incredibly honest about the fact that she got 3 botched BBLs. So the question is, does anyone know where she got her BBL done? And the doctor, I swear hers and Chloe's are literally just perfection. I've been trying to find out for ages.
Find out the answer to this question, because there is no answer to this question, or at least not a simple one anyway. Oh, do you want the number of the first person I went to who I paid a hell of a lot of money for and it made absolutely not one bit of difference? Or do you want the second person I went to who completely botched me, put fat in my hips that I didn't ask for?
You're already going in, sometimes for 2 or 3 BBLs just to get the proper shape, just to get it the exact way that you want. Who wants to go under the knife and deal with that pain multiple times just to get it right?
Made me look completely abnormal. Or do you want the number of the third person who fixed the mess that the second person left, who doesn't even do BBLs? Unfortunately, my backside was constructed and deconstructed by a lot of different people.
I'm sure once everything is said and done and you realize you have to go 2 or 3 times to go and get the same procedure just for them to make you look normal, you would wish that you had never trusted anybody to begin with. This is why it is so important to do your research and understand who you are going to see. Who is this doctor? Let's see all of the before and afters of the 10,000 plus clients. I need to see 10,000 previous clients before I show up. 10,000, and none of them are allowed to die.
There's no simple answer to this. And even if I did have an answer, I just wouldn't tell you because the risk is not worth it. You might think that my bum looks nice in outfits and dresses and jeans or trousers, but I promise you right now, in a bikini, it looks like a deflated water balloon.
We love a self-aware queen. If all of the Instagram thotties were just this honest, the world would go around in such a better place. We just need to share and help people understand the way that things are extremely dangerous, instead of glorifying them because people think she looks so good. Genuine question. I want one done, but I'm hearing stories that BBLs smell really bad. Is that true? Oh, we're getting to that.
PSA to all my girlies who are looking to get a BBL or plastic surgery, please do your research and please go to somebody who is board certified. And remember, this I learned the hard way. You get what you pay for, basically. I got botched. I am so unhappy with my body.
I feel like she has a tear in her eye. I feel like she is so incredibly devastated. I would be too.
I'm just so disappointed in myself for not doing research and just not looking into it and just going to anybody to do my surgery.
I think a lot of people want to save money and they also get really excited, so they go,
I don't care who it is, just give me that big booty.
Now, after looking at some of these videos, I cannot believe how horrible some of these women's results are. I know that there are BBLs that exist that do look good. A lot of people in comment sections, I've seen a lot of pictures on Instagram, sure. I don't even believe that. I don't think any of them look good, actually. Now, the reason that somebody might cheap out and go to the first plastic surgeon that they find or run away to Turkey or to Mexico to go and get this BBL procedure, even though it is extraordinarily dangerous, BBLs can cost upwards of $20,000, and these women are getting 2 or 3 procedures. You are literally spending your retirement on your butt. And of course, just like any designer handbag, there will always be fake knockoffs. Let me introduce you to the liquid BBL, aka the non-surgical BBL, aka booty shots. This is where instead of going through a whole fat transplant surgery to have a BBL, they essentially just inject you with dermal fillers, but in your butt.
I get questions about BBL versus non-surgical BBL all the time, and I want to go over the quick pros and cons of both. Basically, a surgical BBL is where we take fat from where you don't want it, from all these different areas, flanks, arms, abdomen,
the neck, and the jowls.
automatically looks bigger. And a non-surgical BBL is where we take an off-the-shelf product called Sculptra that stimulates collagen from your own body. So it's not actually fat, and it has to take some time for it to develop. The good news is it can be done on our local, right? So you can get this injected into the buttocks while you're on your lunch break. But the bad news is it's super expensive. Each one of those vials is like $700, and you need about 12 to 14 of them.
$700 per vial. So this is really very interesting. When you think about dermal fillers and getting any filler in your face, you know, you'll use one syringe, and that can cost a lot of money. Women will spend $1,000, $2,000 to go and get fillers in their face. It costs about $9,000 to get butt injections. Now, like he said, you can go and get them in your lunch break. There's no downtime, and they can last up to 5 years. Sounds really good, right? We can finally fix those hip dips. Oh Lord, it's so sad that you have hip dips. Baby, I got hip dips, and there ain't nothing wrong with those. I'm here to say this is a hip dip safe space. Well, this procedure actually has a long history of very dangerous side effects, as well as many unlicensed back alley practitioners. Just like facial fillers, there is a super high potential for necrosis, which means that your skin can die if the filler is injected into an artery and blocks the blood vessel, and the rate of infection is insane. Over 50% of the cases reported have resulted in severe and life-threatening complications, including infections, sepsis, which means blood infection, and abscesses. Look at this question. Talk about liquid BBL hip dip filler with the cute little heart emojis.
I have been asked about this so much. I'd rather not talk about it, but here we are. So many practitioners are gonna hate me for this, but we gotta know. Yeah, I will never, ever in my life offer this. Hear me out, hear me out. Some results look absolutely phenomenal. However, from a practitioner's point of view, have you seen the infection rates from this? I can't deal. I think it's like 1 in 3.
1 in 3 is insane, you guys. Just to save like $10,000. Why are we spending $9,000 on our butts? And that's American. Oh my God, that's USD. The Canadian dollar ain't, like, that's like $12,000 for me. I'll be fine with my natty butt and my hip dips.
So high. It's not just like a little antibiotic shenanigan. I mean, don't get me wrong, no infection is a walk in the park, but this is like draining, excruciating pain. And if that's not enough to put you off, have you seen the cost of it? Have you ever had your lips done and then 4-6 weeks later been like, where the hell's it gone? The same thing happens with a liquid BBL. It's just a bit more gutting because you've had to spend £5,000 on it.
If this is coming from somebody that is a professional injector and they are saying that they would never do this, we have to listen. There have been videos that we will get to where women are literally squeezing silicone fillers out of their butts. The incisions don't close and they don't heal because they're infected. The skin dies. It is disgusting. Like, I'm telling you, think of the scariest horror movie you've ever seen with all that gore. This is that. Some women even get liquid BBL at hair salons. What? This is something where some people can go and actually just take a one-day course to be certified to inject it. Some women don't even get certified. They just buy the black market fillers off of Amazon and they go, hey babe, you want me to inject that? Just like this woman I'm about to talk about. Nothing has been scarier to me than this story of a woman named April Brown. She actually lost all of her limbs due to a horrible infection after getting a liquid BBL with industrial grade silicone. Buckle up.
You get these injections.
Actually, what happened was I owned a salon in Los Angeles, and a young lady came into my salon, and she had a friend with her. And I don't know, she came in to get a hair service, but somehow we got on the subject of silicone injections, right?
So I don't know if you guys can see her, but she doesn't have any hands. Like, this is such a sad story. Losing your hands and your feet. And this just goes to show you that you don't have to travel all the way and make a consultation with the doctor's office for them to try to sell you a product. They are knocking at your door. The sharks are knocking at your door trying to sell you stuff. And a random woman came to her and administered these fillers in her basement.
And she told me that she injected the young lady that was with her. So the young lady stood up and her butt was like, wow. I was like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. Oh my God, God sent her to me. I've been wanting this since I was a little girl. Oh my God, finally, I'm gonna get the butt injections. And in that moment, I made a choice to say, I'm going to get these injections. And that's what I did. I made an appointment and I went to her house and I got the injections done.
You went to her house and I understand you were lying on her daughter's canopy bed.
Yes.
And then she injected you with what? April, what was it exactly?
It was silicone that you can buy in the hardware store.
So you mean to tell me that you guys are seriously trying to Bob the Builder a booty? You are trying to spackle on a booty with the type of tools my dad uses at the job site? This is truly not funny. It's not funny at all. It actually makes me very sad. Industrial grade silicone has great adhesive properties for numerous construction surfaces, including glass, aluminum, timber, brick, masonry, and more. I'm sick. Like, I'm sick to my stomach. You cannot trust a soul, especially not a woman who's going to administer butt injections on you in her daughter's bedroom. So the infection became so incredibly severe that this woman experienced some of the most excruciating pain to the point where this silicone essentially poisoned her entire body and she had to have her limbs removed. Now, she kind of wants to be an example. She's spoken on a lot of shows and shared her experiences, but you guys have to be so careful with who you trust. You need to know the risks and you need to understand who you can trust in any sort of procedure, whether you're getting a nose job, whether you're getting your breasts done, whether you're getting a knee replacement. You have to understand the risks and what you're going to be facing afterwards. You cannot just let anybody come into your life and literally take away your limbs. This is horrible. These next women also suffered multiple complications from botched liquid BBLs, including skin death. You guys, you gotta have a strong stomach for this. I'm gonna try and blur some stuff in case it's too graphic.
I could literally get my side and just like go like this and stuff would come out, would squeeze out like after about 6 months.
I certainly would not be going ahead with any more treatments.
Monique, Bonnie, and Pagan have all had a cosmetic procedure called a non-surgical Brazilian butt lift. It involves hundreds of milliliters of synthetic liquid called filler being injected into the buttocks to achieve a larger bum and pear-shaped figure.
So these women all went to this lift clinic. I don't know why the thought of putting filler in my butt just makes me so grossed out. Like, it actually makes me feel sick to my stomach, that procedure.
But an undercover investigation by ITV News revealed that practitioners with no medical training can go on a one-day course and then perform the BBL.
There are people with full-on doctor's degrees, going to school for 12 years, that have had incidents where they perform a BBL and the patient passes away. How can you possibly do a one-day course and think that you know everything about all of the arteries in that region and not severely injure somebody?
Our footage showed unhygienic practices and dangerous needle techniques that experts told us were horrific. Multiple women contacted us after our report.
I have a very weak stomach. You guys will learn that very soon. But that makes me absolutely sick to my stomach.
Monique spent more than a week in hospital because she developed a serious infection that led the skin on her bum to rot away.
Oh my God.
It came up in blisters. They then started to pop. Like all the filler was coming out, blood, it was terrible. And the next day I woke up and my side was like black with holes in.
Her skin was literally rotting, you guys. Her skin will be scarred. It will never be the same. The fact that she didn't lose her skin or didn't fall off.
Scooped some of the skin away. I was in pain for about 5 weeks.
Oh.
Like excruciating pain for about 5 weeks.
So it's the same as like getting a BBL. That entire area is so sensitive, all of the nerves, all of everything that is interconnected there. I can only imagine the pain. And then to have to get it all removed. All of that money spent for what?
It was awful. I couldn't really, I've got a little boy, he's 8, and I couldn't really look after him properly. Like, it was terrible.
Bonnie collapsed at home after her procedure and was rushed to hospital in an ambulance.
The doctors come into my room and just basically said, look, you're really poorly, you've got sepsis. Had your sister not have called the ambulance when she did, she said you could have died within the hour. My little boy could have been an orphan.
These are women that have kids. They are risking their lives and they have people to look after. They have people to care for. I loved this video, and this company put out a ton of videos just like this talking about how serious these butt injections are, because we need to get very honest. We need to stop glamorizing plastic surgery and thinking that it is so incredible, all sunshines and rainbows. Look at how gorgeous Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian look. We all need to do that so we can look like the beauty standard. It is absolutely not true. You can glorify something as much as you want, but you can never ignore these very serious side effects. Nicki Minaj was also super open in this interview right here, talking about the beauty standard and the reason why she decided to go and get a liquid BBL. She thought that she needed to look a certain way specifically for the male gaze.
Queen Bee who influenced her to go under the knife, or rather the needle, to get ass shots early in her career.
Butt shots?
She says it was Young Money head honcho Lil Wayne.
All I would hear them talking about is big butts. And I didn't feel complete or good enough.
No.
Good as them, as those girls, because I'm like, oh my God, you know, this is what you're supposed to look like in the rap culture, and I don't look like that.
I promise you, nobody looks like that. Nobody looks like this perfect plastic surgery ideal, because it is only attainable with plastic surgery. If nobody had any of this, we would all look okay. We'd all look good. But it's because these people go under the knife and are able to spend millions. A lot of times men will provide their women with money to go off and get BBLs. Dr. Miami always posts about that, being like, when the sugar daddy comes in to pay for X, Y, and Z. It seems so ridiculous that we do any of this for the attention of men. This kind of reminds me of the Kardashians, how they will morph into a different appearance depending on the man that they are currently with. Oh, Kylie Jenner's dating Timothy Swish-Chalet. She's just a skinny little Ozempic queen frolicking around in a grassy field of flowers. But when she was with Travis Scott, she was a big, thicky BBL chickie wearing weaves and crazy outfits and lots of designer. Not to mention Kourtney Kardashian's with Travis Barker, and now she's a rocker chick. We need to stop doing anything for the gaze of others and start truly working on ourselves and how we love ourselves. We need to stop doing anything for the gaze of others and learn to love ourselves first. I don't mean to sound all kumbaya, but this is the root of all of these horrific stories. It is people that are making these decisions and doing these procedures for the gaze of somebody else, or because they believe that they need to live up to a certain standard. You might look at those women who went and got butt injections, that they are moms. Why should they be worried? We are all subject to this beauty standard no matter what age we are. Big industry leaders pull the strings and they create this beauty standard. So you can go and spend your hard-earned money to try and achieve it when we absolutely can't. It is impossible. These dermatologists and surgeons depend on you to have have an inferiority complex, so you go to them to try to be fixed when there is nothing to be fixed. You are perfect exactly as you are. So if the high potential for death, the immense amount of pain that you experience during your recovery period after a BBL, the botched results, or the price tag hasn't completely turned you off the BBL, then maybe this will. Maybe it's the fact that the BBLs are very stinky.
Yeah, those BBLs be stinking. So you guys may have seen this online that BBL smells is trending. And there are a lot of reasons for that smell, but I think that I will tell you guys a story about a girl that I dated, and I took her out. She had a BBL. Her body looked crazy good.
So we're trying to understand if the BBL itself is smelling bad, or if it's the women that have the BBL that smell really bad.
So we linked up and we went out, had a really good time. We went to a Lakers game and then went to a spot by LA Live and had some dinner, opened up a bottle of champagne, and we sitting there and we're having a nice vibe. And, you know, we started getting into it and everything, and clothes started to come off. And she wanted to give me a little show. So she was like, just stand right there. And so, like, she took off everything very seductively and got on my bed and started.
No, he's heavily reliving this. He misses her. He maybe doesn't miss her stink, but he misses her.
That thing, right? And I was like, what the hell? And I smelled this smell and it hits my nose. The shit was like a salt of my nose.
How embarrassing, bro. I already feel bad that my pits smell terrible sometimes, but could you imagine if you couldn't control the way your booty smells? Why does her booty smell?
If someone has had a normal size behind for all of their life, and then they switch up and now they got this big BBL, they have to reach back there and really clean.
I have chills. This is disgusting me. Coming from a girl with a BBL, the excretion smells horrible. Couldn't think of doing anything in the first 4 months. I just think it's bizarre that so many of these people have a similar experience with BBLs and the fact that they don't smell good. For your health and wallet's sake, just lift some weights and go to the gym. I will make it very clear that in order to have this type of body, you will not be able to achieve it at the gym, but you will be able to achieve something so similar and something that is natural and proportioned to your body. Not only that, you are strengthening your body and you are becoming more healthy. Stop giving any of these sharks any of your money, whether they are girls that are coming into your salon trying to give you butt injections, or you're going to a consultation where they're trying to charge you $20,000 for a BBL. Learn to love yourself and stop risking your life for trivial things. Looks will eventually fade and they truly do not matter. Your greatest superpower is to love yourself exactly as you are, so that when you're 80 and wrinkly and disgusting looking, you won't be thinking how you can go and get your 6th facelift. You just don't need any of that work done. I promise you are beautiful just the way you are. I only make these videos because I love you and I want the best for you. Don't forget to comment down below and let me know what you want me to cover in future videos. Have an amazing day or night or whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.